Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel, The Real Life Mama. My name is Mackenzie and today I'm going to be sharing with you 4 high protein meal prep ideas. So you can either do them for lunch or you can do them for dinner. Kind of how I'm going to do it is right now I'm going to make some loaded, my kids are with me, so ignore background screaming. They think it's funny to be doing this while I'm filming my intro. Here. What's your name? Evan. And are we gonna be good listeners?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Buddy, you're okay. It's getting chaotic, but anyway. So my plan is to do the loaded taco bowls for lunch today. Then I'm going to do something for dinner. Tomorrow I'll make another thing for lunch, and then another thing for dinner. As I said, I've got the 3 boys and my husband, myself, and I've got another one over here who wants to be in the video. This is Adam. But basically, I'm just planning on doing it that way instead of doing it all at one time. We don't have a lot of meal prep containers, and I'm also doing this more family style, which means I'm going to keep all the chicken together, keep all the ground beef together, and I'm not going to make individual portions because I'm hoping my kids will be eating this too, so I think it'll just be easier to do it that way. But anyways, let me show you what I have done so far. I am making mac and cheese for the kids for right now, and I do that in the Instant Pot, so I'm waiting on the Instant Pot to be done so I can start making the rice. But I just cubed up some sweet potatoes, so let me show you how I'm going to season them for my loaded beef bowl, taco bowl type thing. Okay, so I have my sweet potatoes here. I'm going to go ahead and put these in the baking sheet. I have the oven preheated to 400 degrees. And basically all I'm going to do, I've got some not olive oil. Hey boys, please stop screaming. Some avocado oil. And then cumin. Oop, that was loud. Where is my cumin? Here we go, some ground cumin. I did just get this from Aldi. If you saw my last grocery haul, a lot of the stuff that I bought was the ingredients for these meals. All right, hey boys, again, can we have inside voices, please? So we're gonna do cumin on the sweet potatoes, and just give this a nice stir. And I did cube them up kind of big. Now I'm going to put these into the oven for 20-25 minutes. Okay, so next I just cut up some onion. I have 3 bell peppers here. And I'm just gonna spread the onion around. Boys, if you can go get your water cups. I know they're filled from earlier, okay? The boys are eating now, but I'm still on mom duty if you can't tell. But basically, I've got 1 onion here, 3 bell peppers. I'm going to throw this in the oven. I'm gonna throw this in the oven that's preheated to, you need help?
Mommy,
Here you go.
No, you're not done. I'm done eating.
Okay, that's preheated to 400 degrees. I'm going to add a little bit more avocado oil onto this. And then I've got all of my seasonings here I'm going to use. I'm trying to do a fajita type flavor profile. So I've got some cumin. And if you want an exact fajita seasoning recipe, you can just go online. And there's plenty of different websites that have them. I'm sure they have some at the store too. This is garlic powder. We have onion powder. Yeah, give me a second. And then we have some chili powder. And then I have a little bit of smoked paprika I'm going to add as well. I'm going to give this a good stir, and then that's going to go in the oven for about 15-ish minutes as well. The sweet potatoes have been in for almost 20 minutes, but I also need to rotate them, so they're probably going to be in for more 25 minutes, depending on if they can get a nice crisp on both sides. I did realize too for the sweet potatoes, I just added cumin, but the recipe says to do garlic powder, onion powder, salt, pepper, and cumin. So if you want to go ahead and do that with your sweet potatoes, you can. I'll probably just add the seasonings at the end. Let me go ahead and add some salt and pepper onto this as well. And I use Redmond's real salt. So I'm not worried about how much salt I put on there, because like I don't like iodized table salt. I can, like, my mouth kind of starts to feel weird after I have it. But with the Redmond's real salt, it doesn't happen. So I don't like really measure that much when I'm doing the salt. Okay, so that is all done. I just gave it a quick stir, and now I'm going, hey, watch out, boys, I'm gonna open up the oven. And now I'm putting this in the oven for, like I said, about 15 to 20 minutes. I'm going to pull out these sweet potatoes, and these are already looking pretty well done, but I'm just gonna go ahead and do more seasonings on them. So this is the onion powder. This is the garlic powder. And then we're gonna do a little bit of the chili powder and some smoked paprika. I'll probably do salt and pepper as well.
That's spicy.
Yeah, it has a little bit of kick to it if you put a lot, but it shouldn't be too spicy with this. So here's pepper, and then I'm gonna do salt.
I'm gonna wait in line over here.
Liam, what do you need? More. The mac and cheese is in that bowl. Just give me a second, okay? All right. No, yeah. Just gonna give this another quick mix around, and this is gonna go back in the oven to finish cooking. Okay, so in here I have about 3 pounds of ground beef. That is almost, there's still a little bit of pink in it, so I'm gonna go ahead and add my seasonings now. You can totally just go to the grocery store and get a like pre-made taco seasoning kit. I normally just make them myself because I already have all of the seasonings on hand anyway. So right now I just added in some salt, pepper, and it's going to be pretty much the same that we added in for the fajitas and the sweet potatoes. So this is onion powder. We're gonna do garlic, or I guess that was garlic powder. This is onion powder. And then we're going to do some chili powder. Some smoked paprika. And then we're going to do some ground cumin, and we'll do pretty much like a lot of ground cumin. That's what gives it that like taco flavor. And then also we're going to do some Italian seasoning. I'm gonna go ahead and get about a cup of water. Here, let me take this off. And then I'm going to mix that in with the seasoning just to kind of help it all mix well together with the meat. Pour that in, and then just gonna give that a quick stir. So then I'll just let this continue to cook until all the water has evaporated out, which shouldn't take too long. My rice is already done. It's just kind of sitting in the Instant Pot right now. I've got about 20 minutes until I need to put my son, my youngest, down for a nap. And I just went and unloaded the dishwasher and loaded it back up with everything that's in the sink. So once I get these seasonings put away and get this stuff cleaned up, I will have a clean kitchen too, which is part of the reason why I'm kind of separating it out, so that way I don't like have a huge mess to clean up at the end. And then also I am making homemade sun-dried tomatoes for my creamy Tuscan chicken. So I got those in the oven. Those need to be in the oven for about 3 hours, 2 to 3 hours. So I'm gonna go ahead and have that going while I'm kind of like dealing with the kids after this. So hopefully I'll be able to sit down and eat this before I need to put my son down. If not, it will all be ready to go for me when he is down for a nap. I'll come back down and I'll eat my lunch. It did take probably like a little bit over an hour all said and done to get everything cooked and prepped. But now I will have lunches made for at least the next couple of days, depending on if my husband brings lunch to work or not. But these taco bowls I'm planning on strictly doing for lunches. We could do tacos for dinner, but my boys will pretty much only eat the ground beef and the rice. They won't touch the sweet potatoes or the bell peppers. My husband will eat this stuff, but we can only eat through so much in one sitting. So that is my plan with this food. But yeah, so it honestly didn't end up taking too long. The rice, I'm just gonna leave it as is. I'll add some salt, some garlic powder, onion powder, and some butter in there to mix it, because I'm also going to be using part of the rice for the chicken curry, the tikka masala I'm going to be making. So I don't want to add in like cilantro lime rice, and then like obviously the curry will kind of taste off with that. So I might need to end up making a little bit more rice when we do the curry, but I'm thinking tonight I'll be able to get I'm thinking tonight I'll be able to get the chicken curry marinating in a bag, and then like day of I'll only have to be making the naan, and I'll already have the rice, just need to warm it up, maybe make more depending on how much we do for the taco bowls. So I have the creamy Tuscan chicken I was going to start doing tonight, which is pretty much, I could do it on the skillet, but I think I'm going to try and bake everything in the oven. So all that I might cook the chicken a little bit beforehand. So I'll need the skillet for that, but making the sauce and everything, I think I'm just going to put it in a casserole dish and let it bake in the oven. So while that's baking in the oven, I was thinking I was just going to go ahead and do the marinade for the tikka masala. So that way we have that in the fridge kind of ready to go. And I'm hoping that way too it'll save me some time tomorrow, because I'll already have that marinating. And is there one more? The tikka masala, the loaded bowl, the burrito bowls. Oh, I was gonna do kava, so I need to do, that'll probably be something that I do tomorrow. But I'll probably try and get that chicken marinating tonight as well, and I'll just have to make the sides tomorrow. I have not gone to the store to get arugula yet, but I normally like to do arugula in my bowls. I like to do rice. I have green lentils. I'm not sure if I'm gonna make that too or not. Then I normally just do like the chicken, not the harissa chicken, just the regular one, with the tomato and cucumber salad, and then pickled onions. I already have my fermented onions in the fridge, so I was just gonna add that in there. And then just making the dressing. So I'll have all of that to do tomorrow, and I'll just get the kava bowl, like the kava chicken, marinating tonight. Okay, so this is everything in here. I have the ground beef, the rice, the fajita veggies, the sweet potatoes, and I have guacamole. This came out to be about 42 grams of protein. I just put it in my meal tracker. I added some raw milk with it, so it's now like 53 grams of protein, 12 ounces. So if you don't have the milk, it's about 42 grams of protein for just this portion. Hopefully I can eat it all. But yeah, I'm really excited to give this a try. I have had everything in here before besides the sweet potatoes with it, but I'm sure it'll be delicious. Welcome back. It is now time for me to start doing dinner prep. So we're going to do a creamy Tuscan chicken. I have 3 chicken breasts that we got from Sam's Club. I went ahead and I cut those in half because they were really thick. So what I'm going to do, because I don't think my kids are going to eat the chicken with like the sauce on it, so I'm just going to cook the chicken up in the skillet, and then we're gonna get everything else in our casserole dish. So we'll set aside a couple chicken breasts for them, so they can have it without sauce. The rest of the chicken's gonna go in the casserole dish with the sauce, and we're just gonna let it bake in the oven until my husband gets home. Okay, so I went ahead and I added garlic powder, onion powder, oregano, and pepper onto these. I need to add some salt onto this as well, but I'm just gonna go ahead and put probably half of these face down. I have some avocado oil in the pan right now. So I'm just gonna go ahead and get these searing. I'll just do those 3 for now, and I'll probably save 1 to 2 chicken breasts for my kids to eat. So now I'm just gonna go ahead and add the seasoning to the other side of the chicken breast. So this is the Italian seasoning. It's starting to get kind of hot. Let me turn that down. The onion powder, the garlic powder, the pepper, and I'll add salt to this side. And I'm just gonna serve this with noodles. That's something I know my kids will eat, and my husband and I will eat that as well, and it'll give us some more protein to have with this meal. So the other ingredients we need, I've got our sun-dried tomatoes. That's homemade. They ended up only needed to be in the oven for about an hour and a half because the oven was still pretty hot from when the fajita veggies were cooking and the sweet potato from the earlier video. We're gonna need about probably 4 cloves of garlic. I have just like a garlic press, so I'll get the shells taken off and press that in. You need some heavy whipping cream. So I've got that. We probably won't use that whole thing. And then I have a big block of Parmesan cheese from Sam's Club and a big thing of baby spinach. We're not gonna use all the spinach, probably about half though. So I just added in my garlic. I'm gonna go ahead and add in my sun-dried tomatoes. I'm just starting to get this ready so I can put the chicken on top of it. I think 2 of these are probably done, like this one, because this will keep cooking while it's in the oven too. These 2 are done. This one's a little bit thicker, so it needs a little bit longer, but I'm gonna go ahead and add the rest of the chicken breast to this now. And again, I'm just gonna go in with the seasoning, so pepper, garlic powder, onion powder, Italian seasoning, and add a little bit more oil in this too, because the oil's kind of cooked out. And then some salt. Add that in, gonna scoop these around. Okay. I'll go ahead and add in the heavy whipping cream too. The recipe originally calls for like 1.5 cups, but I'm using more protein than what the recipe calls for, so I'm gonna add probably like 2.5 cups in, and I'm just gonna eyeball it. A little bit more. Then I'm going to do the spinach. I think this recipe calls for onions too, but I'll probably cook the onions after the chicken's done, so that way they're not kind of crunchy still. The spinach. this will all cook down as it gets hot in the oven. It'll wilt, so it won't be as big as you see it now. Okay, so the other 2 chicken breasts finished cooking. I went ahead and washed the cutting board and the knife, and that is what I ended up cutting the onions on. I'm just gonna get this cooking while that other chicken breast finishes up. This will be for what my kids eat, so that's not gonna go in the casserole dish, but this onions, I wanna cook them a little bit before they get put in. And I'm just gonna add a little bit of water to deglaze the pan. It's gonna get a little bit steamy. Okay, so now we just wait for the onions to finish up cooking. The chicken breast should be finished here soon, and then I'll put everything in the oven to cook for about 30 minutes. Sorry, I have the fan on to help with the smoke. I will turn that off for now. This chicken looks to be pretty much done. I'm gonna cut it open just to make sure there's no pink. Yep, that's cooked. So I'm just gonna wait for these to cook off, the water to cook off a little bit more. It really works deglazing the pan, and so hopefully those onions will just have a little bit more flavor to them as well, since they've got all that extra seasoning and charred bits from the chicken. It shouldn't be too much longer now until that's all cooked off, and then it'll go in the oven, like I said, for about 30 minutes. And I just need to get the Instant Pot going with our noodles, and dinner will be done soon. And since my kids normally don't like to eat leftover noodles, I'm just going to make what I think we'll eat for tonight, and then I'll just make noodles again the next time we have this. And those onions are about done as well, probably another minute or 2. Alrighty, so I'm just gonna have this cook on manual for 3 minutes. If you want, I can link down below the website that I use. Basically, you just take the minimum cooking time, and they have a little chart. Based on the chart, it tells me how long I need to make the noodles for. So these onions are done now, so I'm gonna get this off the heat, get these put in here, and then I'll get this in the oven. Okay, so we are about to head out. I'm just gonna turn the oven off and leave this in there. It's nice and bubbly, that's how I want it. I'm going to add the Parmesan in once we get home and get it warmed up. And then this is what the noodles ended up looking like. We are headed to the gym, and then we are going to a pickup appointment. So this is what the boys are having. Hey boys, I'm filming, okay? Can we please be a little bit quiet? The boys are having strawberries, some of the shells, and then they have their slices of chicken up here. Okay, so it is now several hours later. I just reheated this in the oven, and now I have some Parmesan cheese. I'm just gonna sprinkle it on the top and let that kind of get all melty in there. But this will be my husband and I's dinner for tonight. The boys ate all of the food that I packed them and wanted more when we got home. So I do still have a little bit of chicken left, but not as much as I would like to, so I'm probably gonna have to end up making another one for them tomorrow. And then these are the noodles. They're kind of cold, but I'm hoping the sauce will be warm enough that it will warm it up. And I'll show you what it looks like once it's all plated as well. Hey everyone, welcome back. Tonight we're going to be making chicken tikka masala. We went on a little trip, we got back. I had the chicken in the freezer, pulled it out to thaw, and it just started having a funky smell to it. So I did stop by our local produce stand and got some chicken breast that's from a local farmer. So I had that just defrosting in some cold water for about the past hour. So basically, let me show you all the ingredients that we need. I'm gonna go ahead and chop up the chicken and then get that marinating. It's already like 4:45. We normally like to eat between 5 and 6, so it's probably gonna be a little bit of a later dinner, but let me go ahead and show you all the ingredients for everything. Okay, so we have about 6 cloves of garlic. We have about 2 inches of fresh ginger. The recipe calls for 1 medium yellow onion and shallot, but I don't have shallot, so I'm just gonna do a full onion. We have some cilantro that's left over from the fermented salsa that I've been making. And then this is garam masala, turmeric, so 3 tablespoons of garam masala, 2 teaspoons of turmeric, salt and pepper. So basically all of these items are gonna go in a food processor, get blended up with the tomato paste, I believe, as well. Then we have some homemade yogurt, and then we have some heavy whipping cream. The original recipe calls for coconut milk. I don't have coconut milk, but I have heavy whipping cream, so that's what I'm going to use for it. Okay, so I've got my small little Target food processor, but I'm basically just going to put all of the ingredients in here, plus the seasonings, put it on my puree mode, and that's just gonna make a paste that's gonna help marinate the chicken. So I'm just gonna get everything added in now. So we've got our onion, and sometimes I have to do this in batches. We've got our garlic getting added in. I've got my little helper up trying to cut some lemon. Now I'm just gonna add the seasonings in here. One second, Evan. Okay. All right, now let's see how this goes. I'll show you what that looks like. There you have it. So I also forgot that we normally do a red bell pepper in with our tikka masala. So my little sous chef here is starting to chop it up, and when he gets frustrated, just shredding it to pieces. So at least we have a helper, right? Are you helping, Evan?
Yeah.
Yeah, good helper. Okay, so ignore the messy counter, but I just chopped up the whole chicken breast. So we're going to then add in the yogurt into the bag, and then half of the little pureed mixture that we just made, and Evan is still chopping away on the bell pepper. So I just got the yogurt in. I think I just showed you that. So now I'm just going to add in about 2 to 3 tablespoons of the curried mixture that we made. Of course, I'm making a mess. And then this is just going to marinate in the fridge for about 30 minutes. You can do it pretty much overnight if you wanted to, if you have more time than what I have now. But just for the sake of us having dinner before 7, I'm going to get this going now. So basically I'm just gonna close my bag, and then I'm just gonna massage the chicken with the yogurt and the curry paste, and just let that kind of just marinate with each other, get the mixes, the spices all mixed in. And then when it comes time to cook, we normally add in like half an onion and the bell pepper just to give it a little bit more flavor. Yeah, and so then you also too want to save your curry paste, because when you go to cook it, you will be adding that in as well. So I'm just going to get this in the fridge and let this marinate for a little bit. So this is what is left of the curry paste. I have half a cup here that is going to be cooked for tonight. This is what's left over, so I'm just going to go ahead and throw this in the freezer. I have it labeled, and I'm going to lay it flat like this to freeze, so that way it's not in a huge block and it will take forever to freeze. It'll thaw pretty quickly when it's laid flat like this. Basically, the other ingredients I'm going to use, that's the microwave. I'm going to use the entire 6-ounce can of tomato paste, and then however much left of this heavy whipping cream is left, I'll add that in. Here's the chicken that's just, I got it out of the fridge to help it like marinate a little bit better. And then we have the red bell pepper, the onion, and the cilantro to go on top. And you can use the zest of a lemon in that the curry paste you make. But I don't have my zester, so that's just, it's out, but we're not using it. Okay, so I've got some avocado oil in the pan. It's still heating up, but I'm basically just going to cook these for a couple minutes, the bell pepper and the onion. Then I'm going to add in the chicken. Well, I guess I'm supposed to add this in first. So I'll add in the curry paste with here, cook it until it's fragrant. Then I'm going to add in the chicken marinade, this whole can in that. And then I'm basically just going to let it cover it and let it cook for about 15 to 20 minutes. I don't have an actual pan or like a lid for this, so I'll just put a pan over it, but that is the plan. And then I had leftover rice that I've just been warming up in the microwave using butter, and I'm gonna add a little bit of salt to it, and then that will be dinner. My husband did just leave to go pick up some naan bread. I was originally planning on making homemade naan, but because the way dinner is going tonight and just the lack of time, it's already 5:30, I want us to be eating by 6. So that's why I'm starting this now, and he's going to the store to pick. I won't eat the bread, but the kids, obviously, that's like their favorite part of this. So he's helping me out by going to get that. Let me start stirring this, and I will just take you through the process as we move on. Okay, my husband is taking the 3 chaotic little boys upstairs to play. We're going to add that in. Give it a good mix. Okay, so I just got the tomato paste. I'm just going to stir this around and help just kind of mix it in there. I think it gets easier as it gets warmer to do that. I know it doesn't look very appetizing right now, but this smells just delicious. Alright, that's pretty well mixed in. Then we're going to add the rest in of this heavy whipping cream. Again, I said this earlier, but if you have the coconut milk or coconut cream, I forget what it is. This is Half Baked Harvest. This is her coconut chicken tikka masala recipe. So if you want like a written recipe, I can link this down below. Just let me know. And this is like where I'm getting all of this and like, you know, the recipe from. We've made this before and it's like it's delicious. My husband and I are probably going to eat the majority of this. I say this is a meal prep video, but when you're cooking for a family of 5, sometimes the meal prepping doesn't always last a while. Okay, so we're just going to kind of give that a stir. Then I'm going to just cover it with a handy dandy baking sheet because I do not have a lid for this cast iron. Just trying to get it all incorporated, and then 15 to 20 minutes covered, and then this will be done. So I mean, it does take a little bit of time to make the marinade, but I was actually thinking if you wanted to save yourself some time, you could actually do a double for the curry paste and then just cut up your chicken, have it marinating, and then put it in the freezer. So you could make one for now, make one for later. So you could get, I mean, I don't know how many meals like you personally would get out of it, depending on how many people you're feeding, but especially just like freezer meal type thing, if you want to start kind of getting your freezer loaded with ready to go meals that are high protein and a little bit healthier for your family, I would definitely recommend doing that, because this is, and obviously rice, we just cook our rice in the Instant Pot, so it's not like there's much cleanup with that. It's just the one little pot, but I luckily made some rice ahead of time, so that's already good to go. My husband just got home with the naan, so now I'm just going to cover this and let this cook, probably turn the heat down, put it on medium. If you've noticed our burner, I was making pancakes like a couple days ago, so this was on, and my youngest Evan, the one who was chopping the bell peppers, got upset and kind of like threw a dish towel that I had hanging up here and threw it on the burner, and he ended up like, I needed to go change his diaper, so I didn't like register right away that there was a towel on a hot burner, and so I came back down and the towel pretty much had like melted onto the burner. So if you have any tips or tricks of how to get this off of there, let me know. I have a steam cleaner, so I'm wondering if that will help. But as you can see here, some of like the glass kind of chipped off too, because I think I was actually using the spatula to like try and scrape it off, and that did not end well. So any of you seasoned moms or grandmas out there know how to get basically burnt plastic off. Please let me know. I definitely need need some advice in that department. That was my favorite burner. I use that all the time. I sound old saying that because I have a favorite burner, but I do. And this one, it heats nicely, but I just feel like even though they're the same size, that burner just works so much better than this one. I don't know what it is. But I'm gonna go ahead and get the pan and get this covered, and then dinner should be ready literally right at 6 o'clock. It's 5:40 now. So this is it as it's done. It's been going for about 25 minutes. Now I'm gonna go ahead and turn the heat off. But I just tasted this. It's pretty good with the flavor. And then we have some naan I just warmed up in the oven. And then we have the rice. And this is what my kids' plates look like. Frozen strawberries, the naan, chicken, and rice. If they eat the chicken, I will be impressed. They normally don't like chicken with sauce on it, but I still want to give it to them so they can be exposed to it. My youngest is like my least picky eater, so he might actually eat it. But I know my husband and I are going to thoroughly enjoy this meal. So this is what it looks like all plated up out of, I think, have all three of you tried it? Yeah. All three of the boys have tried it and liked it, so that is never happens, honestly. So I'm really excited about that. Yeah. But I don't have any rice or naan because I'm trying to eat a little bit better, but everyone else, you saw their plates already. But yeah, I'm about ready to dig in. That's how much we have left, so it's probably about another 2 meals worth for meal prep. But yeah, we're excited. Hey everyone, welcome back. Tonight is our last dinner for our high protein meal prep series. We're going to be doing copycat chicken, like the kava bowls. I did not ever go to the store and get arugula, which was probably a better thing that I didn't because it would have gone to waste. And I don't know if you saw my last grocery haul, but I basically was talking about how the rice that we just got from Sam's Club, I'm like having some sort of weird allergic reaction to. I'm not sure if, because it's organic, I'm not sure if it was like sprayed with something like an organic pesticide or something. But I basically tried eating it, like my throat started swelling up. I couldn't swallow the rice and I ended up having to like spit it out, throw it up kind of thing. And it was like probably 45 minutes later than my throat started kind of going back to normal. So I'm not going to be I'll be making rice for my husband, my kids, but I'm not going to be adding that into my bowl myself. So we're just going to be doing the chicken. I'm going to make some hummus, and I'm also going to do the tomato cucumber salad. I'm not sure what the actual name of it is. So obviously, if you have lettuce, arugula, if you want to do lentils, rice, there's a whole bunch of other things you can add into it, but I'm just going to keep it simple because I don't want to be gasping for air tonight for dinner. So let me go ahead and show you the marinade and everything I'm going to use to marinate the chicken. It's just 3 p.m. now, so I'm gonna let the chicken marinade for probably about an hour. I'm gonna get all of the other ingredients going now so that can be sitting in the fridge and kind of just like marinating with the flavors while the chicken is cooking, and then we'll have dinner hopefully between 5 and 6 p.m. tonight. So we've got the chicken breast. That's what we got from Sam's Club if you saw my last grocery haul. I've got 4 cloves of garlic. I need some lemon juice, so I have a lemon. We have some avocado oil, salt, parsley, smoked paprika. It calls for oregano, but I just have Italian seasoning, so that's what I'm using, and then black pepper. So basically, I'm just going to slice the chicken breast in half. I will add that to a bowl, put all the seasonings in with it, and then we're just gonna mix it up and let it marinate for the next couple of hours. First, we're gonna do about 3 tablespoons of avocado oil. You can also do olive oil. Next, I've got all of the other seasonings in here. So it's half a teaspoon of salt, half a teaspoon of pepper. The recipe did call for fresh parsley, but I only had dried, so I did about 1 tablespoon of dried parsley, 1 teaspoon of paprika, and then we have about maybe like half a teaspoon to a teaspoon of Italian seasoning. So I'm gonna go ahead and get that in there. Okay, so I just added in the seasonings and like the garlic, the lemon juice. So 3 tablespoons of lemon juice, about 4 cloves of garlic, half a teaspoon of pepper, and then we have about 1 teaspoon of smoked paprika, half a teaspoon of the Italian seasoning, and then the recipe does call for fresh parsley, but I only have dried parsley, so we're going to use, I think it's just 1 tablespoon instead of 3 tablespoons 1 tablespoon of dried parsley instead of the 3 tablespoons of fresh. So let me get a spoon and I'm going to mix this up really quick and then cover it and let it marinate for the next hour to 2 hours or so. So it is, so I'm trying to do this one-handed. So you just want to make sure everything kind of gets divided out. The avocado oil and the lemon juice in there will help just kind of like make everything like blend with each other, like the liquid in it. But obviously that piece has got a lot of seasonings on it, so I need to get that together. I'm probably gonna end up putting my phone down because this is kind of hard to do one-handed. But just know that just give it a good stir, good mix. You can also do this in a plastic bag, so then you can kind of just like rub it everywhere. That's probably what I should have done. But I was just trying to save my plastic bags because I feel like I'm going through a lot of them recently. So yeah. All right, let me finish giving this a stir. And then I'm just going to cover it and put it in the fridge until we are ready to cook it. And I'm just going to be cooking it on the cast iron. Let me go ahead and get the other ingredients ready for the hummus and the tomato cucumber salsa salad thing. Okay, so next we're going to be doing the tomato cucumber salad. So I have cherry tomatoes, a cucumber. The recipe does say Persian cucumber, but we just have this little mini one, salt, pepper. I did find some fresh parsley, so we're going to use that. We need lemon juice. It says olive oil, but I only have avocado oil. And then these are fermented red onions. I don't just have like a raw red onion to cut. This is still raw, but it's just been fermented for a little bit. So we'll get a little added probiotic booster as well. Basically, I'm just going to cut up the cucumber, cut up the tomato, put some lemon juice in it, salt, pepper, chop that up, pour a little bit of that in there, mix it together, and that's what's going to be one of the side dishes that I normally get at Kava. I'm doing this before the hummus, so this can kind of have time to marinate with the flavor as well. My phone's about to die, so I'm probably just going to chop and do all this stuff, and I'll show you what it looks like at the end. Let me know in the comments below if you have any questions on like how I did it or like specific measurements, but it should be, at least for this one, pretty self-explanatory. Got my little sous chef over here salting a cucumber, but this is what it looks like after everything's been cut up and mixed in. If you want yours not in as big as chunks, go ahead and do how you want it. I just was feeling kind of lazy. I didn't want to like fine chop everything. But that is everything mixed in. The lemon juice, salt, pepper, the fermented onions, the tomato cucumber, and the avocado oil. So just gonna keep stirring this a little bit, make sure everything gets incorporated. Oh, and the parsley too. And then I'm just going to put this in the fridge, cover it up, and then it will just be marinating until we need it for later. And now we're going to do the hummus. So I have all the ingredients out. I've got my helper over here. You want to say hi?
Hi.
The other two are at the park with my husband. He wanted to stay home and help because he wants to be an adult and learn how to cook. So we're going to make some hummus. And I'm not actually sure that we're going to be doing the kava chicken tonight because
I will be that when I grow up.
he wants to have mac and cheese, and I already told him today that I would make mac and cheese, and I don't think that's going to go. We have some steaks in the fridge, and I think that's going to go better, like mac and cheese and steak versus the kava chicken and that. So I'll just have the chicken and everything marinating in the fridge. Yeah, do you like steak?
Yep.
Yep. So I'm just going to let everything marinate in the fridge overnight, and so we'll have this for dinner tomorrow night. But you'll obviously see it all while it's cooked up anyways. Anyways, back to the hummus. Let me show you all the ingredients, and then just like once it's blended up, what it looks like. We've got the chickpeas, the garlic. We added 2 ice cubes. We probably have like 1/4 of a cup of tahini, 1 teaspoon of salt, and then just a couple shakes of the cumin and the smoked paprika. Now we're just going to give it a good mix, and once it's a blended consistency, that will be our hummus. Just going to put that in the fridge to kind of like cool down a little bit. It is, in my opinion, it's better once it sits overnight anyways. Little hands. So let me show you what it looks like when it's all blended up.
Hello.
Okay, so this is the final result. That's good. So the hummus, I ended up having to do it in our bigger blender because this and like the little personalized one was just too thick, and it couldn't get it blended all the way. But the blender that, I don't know, this one, I don't know what the actual term for it is, but the one where like it's sticking up, it's not the bottom base blender. That did this a lot better. Yeah, so I just did a taste test. It's pretty good. This is my carrot I was taste testing it with. But we're just gonna go ahead and let this sit in the fridge. And like I said, we will have this probably tomorrow night for dinner. So it's just gonna be sitting in there until tomorrow night. But it's nice knowing that I at least have dinner all ready to go for tomorrow. We just have to cook the chicken, and then we will have that meal. Now it's time to start making the mac and cheese for tonight. And then when my husband gets home, he's gonna make the steaks because I'm not doing that. So here, I'll show you how, I'll do a little taste test. I would have Adam do this too, but he's never had him. Adam, do you want to do a taste test of the hummus we just made? No. Yeah, he's not a big fan on like trying new sauces, but
I can make chicken all by myself.
One time he made chicken all by himself. It's really good. It just wants to be a little colder, so I'm gonna put it in the fridge, and then might as well, I guess, finish the carrot off. Can't have like a half-eaten carrot in the fridge. Anyways, probably when this video cuts back in will be tomorrow when I'm cooking the chicken, hopefully, and then I'll show you what the bowl looks like at the end, but this will be also some added protein for it as well. Hey everyone, so now it is a different night. We are finally getting to do the copycat kava chicken bowls. I've got some rice going in the Instant Pot, the chicken's going. I still have the hummus and the cucumber tomato salad, so that is just going to be what we're having. I told the boys if they don't want the chicken, they could just have pepperoni or summer sausage, because they're starting to kind of like pitch a fit right now for eating the chicken, even though they haven't tried it yet, so we'll see how that goes. Let me show you what the chicken looks like as it's getting cooked up. So I'll flip it in about another minute or two. Just want to give it a good sear on that side. This has been marinating for about a day in the fridge, so it should have a nice flavor to it. But yeah, this will be pretty much it. I'll show you once everything's done and what my bowl looks like. Keep in mind, I'm not going to be doing the rice that my family is, so mine will be a little bit on the skimpy side. I did plan on doing a tahini or like a lemon. I think it's like their lemon herb or their Greek vinaigrette, one of the two. I was planning on doing the salad dressing for, but I don't have any lettuce to put with it, so I'm pretty much just going to be doing the chicken, the cucumber tomato salad, and the hummus, which is fine, but I know my boys will have a little bit of a different plate than what I will have. Okay, so I actually just tried the cucumber tomato salad, and I don't know if I had Italian parsley. I don't know if I'm supposed to be using that type or not, but it does not taste good to me. The parsley is like really strong, so I'm going to be leaving that out. I don't really know if I can repurpose it. I might just have to like throw it away because my husband doesn't like it either. Oops, we try. Sometimes, and I'm going to keep this clip in just so you know that like not everything when you're trying new recipes is going to turn out in your kitchen. Sometimes it's okay to like try something and not like it. I'm not sure maybe if I do dried parsley next time and not fresh, that might make a difference. I'll try that. I might be able to like pick out the parsley because everything else tasted good. But yeah, that parsley was like a little too strong for me. Kind of really gave it like an earthy flavor. So if you're watching this video in full before you make your salad, just make sure you try using dried parsley and not the fresh. I don't think the recipe specified, because I know there's different types of parsley. I don't think the recipe specified which one to use, but maybe there's like a different one that's not the Italian parsley that might make it taste better. But yeah, that was not too good. All right, so this is the boys' plates. We have the chicken, rice, blueberries for these two. My oldest does not want to try the chicken, but he's got a little one here. The frozen blueberries and then the rice. So that is what they're having with this dinner. And this is what my plate looks like. Keep in mind, I am not eating the rice or else I would have that there. And I also made that tomato cucumber salad that the parsley is just not doing it for me. So I'm just going to have this tonight and I will figure out what to do with that. I might end up just throwing it away. I know it's a lot, but I just really cannot stomach that parsley. So yeah, so this total 5.5 ounces of chicken was 48 grams of protein, and then with the hummus on top, I think it brought it up to like 51 grams of protein. So this will be our dinner for tonight. I want to say thank you so much for watching to the end of the video. I know this took like 2 weeks to get out, but that's just sometimes how it goes, especially when we're traveling and the kids all want different things. Sometimes I just don't want to cook, but I really appreciate you sticking around to see the end. Let me know if you want any of the recipes in the comments below. And as always, we'll see you next time. Bye.